the Talent Alone Basketball and Hockey Podcast. I am your host, Adam Hess, and with me as always, he is podcasting from his stomach to try to score the most impressive podcast in all of podcast history. It's Mike Regan. Mike, how you doing today?
There is a podcaster award, isn't there? Did they do that? Aren't there like Grammys or Oscars for podcasters?
Is it called 40-Year-Old Virgin of the Year?
It's not.
Everyone who has a podcast is the lamest person on earth. So thank you for listening to our podcast, the Basket
How dare you.
Podcast, part of the Talent Alone podcast family. Why are podcasters so self-effacing? Why is it such a self-effacing medium? Like, people desired to be a sports radio talking head for their entire life. It was their one goal. But now podcasts is like, if you do a podcast, you're a dork, and all of your friends are dorks, and your girlfriend's a dork.
I think that's true. I think that's just what's the word I'm looking for? It's a narrative spread forward by old media who are mad that anybody can just at home buy a microphone, turn on their laptop, and start doing what they had to go into debt for and get a communications degree for all those years ago. That's my guess. But
Wait, you're telling me I didn't have to go into debt and get a communications degree for this?
you didn't, actually.
Ah, fuck. So many hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
So many. But Mike, we are not a debt podcast. We are podcasters in debt, but we are ourselves not a debt podcast. We are instead a hockey podcast. And Mike, the world of hockey has brought us one hell of a Stanley Cup so far.
Good one, brother.
That's a good one, brother. We are 4 games in, with Game 5 taking place tomorrow night, which is Thursday the 11th, I think. But between our last podcast and this one, there was 3 games. There was Game 2, Game 3, Game 4. And what I pitched to you is we're going to go through and give each of these games like a game name, the way that Jordan had the flu game, or Alexander Ovechkin had the hungover game. I don't know if that's a real thing, but I'm just assuming at some point. I mean, you see the way that guy partied when he won the cup?
He party hard. He's a hard parter. Yeah.
He's
yes.
a hardy party.
Yeah.
Mike Regan, professional podcaster. So, Mike, we're going to go through and we're going to discuss these games in brief, but I want to figure out what, when we look back on this Stanley Cup in 71 years to talk about it, what we will call these games. So let's start with Game 2, Mike. Game 2. You remember Game 2 last Thursday? Long time ago. Long time ago. Game 2, in which the Carolina Hurricanes finally got on the board after tragically losing Game 1. Overtime win by the Carolina Hurricanes. We're going to go through and figure out what the name of this game is. It did feature 2 Brett Howden goals to start it off. 3 unanswered by Carolina. The crazy Mark Stone, oh my god, he's behind everyone breakaway goal that has somehow become his signature of the series. And then finally an OT winner by Seth Jarvis, after we so brutally said Seth Jarvis could never score a goal no matter how hard he tried, even if he closed his eyes and wished really hard. Mike, this was the game where we started to question if Freddie Anderson is going to get started for all the games. This was the game where we started to question if Carter Hart was, and they quickly squashed those questions because who the fuck else is going to start for them? But what was your first takeaway from this game? When you remember this game in, like I said, 71 years, what is the first thing you remember about Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final?
It was the game in the series where it set in, like, okay, no, this is how the series is going to be. Like, as much as it's been a good series, it has been a good series, but there's been multiple moments where you're like, what the fuck are you guys doing? There's been some goofy, like, goals and some just dumb mistakes. You're like, what's going on?
Yeah, this was the first game where I really felt like the Canes just had control of the entire game, and then suddenly the Knights would be up 2 goals.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like, what happened? Like, when did the puck leave the Vegas defensive zone? But they're up 2. I don't know how this math. Were they shooting it from the other zone into the net? How did this work?
Yeah, there's been games where it's felt like they meet beforehand. They're like, all right, so this period you're going to be in control. Next period you're going to fall apart. And we're going to take control.
Yeah, there was some crazy stat where it was like Vegas has outscored Carolina 8-1 in the second period and has lost every other period.
Yeah, that tracks.
The first thing I'm going to remember is the 2 Brett Howden goals. Now, they don't necessarily stand out. They weren't. Neither of them was overwhelmingly impressive. I don't think that they were bad goals. They were simply goals.
Mm-hmm.
But they stand in a long line of. Wait, how many goals does Brett Howden have? As the narrative of this playoffs, where Brett Howden it gets his 12th and 13th goal of the playoffs in this game, solidifying maybe the craziest case for third place in the Conn Smythe and Conn Smythe history.
Yeah.
Like, Brett Howden, and we talked about this last podcast, so I'm not going to go into this. Brett Howden had 12 goals in the regular season. Brett Howden had 12.5% as many goals as he had in the regular season in Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final. He had 1/6
we'll get to it, sorry.
his regular season goals in one game of the Stanley Cup Final. And like I said, it doesn't stand out. I don't know if this can be the Brett Howden game because it's been the Brett Howden playoffs. But it definitely has to be mentioned that this is the game where Brett Howden surpassed his regular season goal total in the playoffs. And Brett Howden didn't play 11 games in the regular season. It's not like he is a prolific goal scorer. Brett Howden played over 60 games in the regular season.
Yeah.
And has now surpassed his goal total. But let's flip over to the other side here, Mike. This was also, I believe, Jordan Stahl's first goal of the playoffs, or of the Cup final.
No.
Could this be? No, never mind. Well, I was going to say, could this be the Jordan Stahl game? Oh, yeah, he scored in game 1. Has Jordan Stahl been the only player to score in every game?
He scored in every game.
Huh. Man, has anyone been paying attention to this Jordan Stahl guy? He might be an up-and-comer in the league.
They kept talking about it last night on the broadcast, I thought.
Okay, here's the problem. I definitely missed some like very obvious stat points that they put it on screen because I watched the games on mute.
Oh, okay. Weird.
So whenever someone like I'll say something and I'll get a text from someone who listens to the podcast. They'll be like, "You idiot! This is how you say this." Like especially players' names, and I'll be like, "I'm not supposed to know that. I watch the games on mute. All right, all right, all right." So don't come tell me that it's pronounced Jordan Stahl, because I don't watch it with
not.
sound
You got
on.
the name right.
So I want to.
You got the name right.
Yeah. Well, anyways, Mike. Is there any other notable names that this game could be? Any other game names for this one, Mike? The Bad Challenge Tortorella game?
Yes. Thank you for reminding me that this. Wait, no. Yes, it was. Yeah, that would probably be my name for the game. Thank you for reminding me. It's been so many games, I forgot that this is the specific one where Tortorella made a and he got very lucky that his team bailed him out by scoring afterwards. Because that would have been the entire talk.
They did.
It's like, wow, you blew the game, but the challenge I had 0% chance of winning.
Yeah. They also lost on a power play in overtime, which I think that might have been Brett Howden in the box. But I think if we had to name this one thing, this might be the Torts Challenge game. Because like the second you saw it, you're like, there's no way this is getting overturned. He was like stabbing at the puck like it was a spear to try to get it underneath Freddie Anderson. And then they were like, no, we're challenging that goal. Of course that wasn't going to get allowed.
This had literally like just happened in, not just happened because it's been longer. The time flies. But in the Buffalo-Montreal series, there was a goal where they blew the whistle and then the bull, why am I keep saying the bull? The puck slides out from underneath Dabes and goes into the net. They don't look at it, and like the guy on whether it was TNT or ESPN was like, technically, like, even though the whistle had blown, if that puck on its own, like its own momentum, had came out from under Dobes and went in, then yeah, it would have actually still been a goal. But not when the whistle's blown, you keep jamming sticks at the goalie, and then it happens to like creep out and go in. That's not going to be a goal anywhere in any world, in any time period. So why are you challenging it? Anyway.
I texted you as soon as it went to challenge review, and I said, well, you're not winning that.
No.
Like, I get that, like, the puck went under him and in, but, we all heard the whistle blow. And it was being pushed out from underneath the goalie.
Right. And it's not like they were down, like, 2 goals with a minute left. And it's like, well, if we don't somehow get that one to count, we're not going to win anyway. So screw it. Let's just challenge. Like, it was a tie game.
Yeah. It was a tie game.
Doing?
Well, yeah, it was a tie game.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was. It's absolutely the Torch Challenge game. But let's so I think that's definitively the name, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Seem really invested. Do you have another pitch there, Mike?
No,
Seem
I
really
said,
really high energy about the Torch Challenge game. I know, but you said it like you had just tasted like decent ramen, and not like you were really excited about the history that we're in the making of.
Sorry. Mm-hmm.
There you go. Mike's excited. Mike, game 3. Game 3.
Yeah.
The third game of the Stanley Cup final. The Vegas Golden Knights win this one 5-4, and nothing interesting happened. Very boring game. Totally normal final goal. You want us to move on to game 4?
No, I don't.
Was this the best game of the series so far, or is it hard to like parse that out? Like, was game 1 or game 2 better than this game?
Game 2.
It was double OT game, which
this
helps.
is like the wildest
but
game.
it was a total slop fest. It was super weird. There was 5 power plays in this game, which is a lot for a cup final game, and then absolutely nothing happened in the first overtime.
Nothing happened in the
and
first
then the
period.
final goal was outrageous.
Yeah.
Yeah, the low event hockey in the first period. I think this is one of the games where Vegas played better than Carolina, as opposed to like game 1, when I feel like Carolina played better and Vegas pulled it out.
I don't know if I'd say that. Like, I feel like in the third period, I mean, obviously, that would be a dumb take to be like, well, in the third period where Carolina scored 4 goals to Vegas' none, I think Carolina played better. But no, even when you like watch it, I still feel like one thing you could call this game is like the death of Freddie. Finally put the nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
This is the death of Freddie. We all knew it was coming.
Can someone Photoshop the death of Superman, but it's Doomsday holding up Freddie Anderson?
Yeah.
Yeah, Freddie Anderson had a smoking 750 save percentage. They pull Freddie after 40 minutes, after 2 periods, and the Bussy comes in. Rookie, Stanley Cup final goalie, and somehow ends up playing more minutes than Freddie Anderson. Imagine playing 2 periods, getting pulled, and the coach goes, "Don't worry, we let you off light. You're playing less than half the game."
Yeah, and Bussy didn't play bad. I don't think. I mean, he faced shots. I don't think Vegas gave him anything super challenging to look at, but he played well in relief of Freddie. But I mean, after the Marner natural hat trick, it was like, yeah, this is like it's time to put the boy out to pasture. It's all over.
Now, do we put an asterisk? So here's what I'm thinking. For the sake of the name of this game, I think the Marner game's obvious, right? But do we put an asterisk on that because one of those shots was an own goal? By I think was it
his
Blake
first
Miller?
one was.
Yeah. Was it Blake Miller who was standing there in front of the goal and just deflected it straight in on a cross-ice pass?
Yeah, and I think once that happened, I think all anything that Anderson had left in him, he was just like, well, fuck it. All right. I'm playing bad, and now my team's scoring on me. I quit. Because the third goal, his final goal he's ever going to let in his career as a hockey player, that's not true. He'll probably be scooped up by someone at the age of 45 next season. But like that Marner hat trick goal was just like, you can't let that one beat you, dude.
Yeah, I do want to talk about that more in a second, but that joke he makes funny because I was going to pitch later on the Freddie Anderson final game in the NHL as the name of the game. So,
Here lies Freddie
what's
Anderson.
Worse? What's
he
worse?
Got Marnered.
He took a Mitch to the face. Mm-hmm. Man, I bet you Braden McNabb wish he took a Mitch to the face instead of what happened. But what's worse? The like Marner hat trick goal, the slapper, the clapper. I don't know why I said the slapper. The clap shot. Oh God, I'm just not even gonna try anymore. I'm just fucking up my words. The third Marner goal, or the only goal Bussy allowed in that just went off the back wall and in.
Yeah, went off the back wall, off Bussy's Bussy, and then in the net.
And by the way, that's the second goal I've seen like that this playoffs. Because didn't Philly allow in a goal like that?
I will say there is something to. I don't think this was the case here. I'm sure Theodore will jokingly be like, "Yep, that was part of the plan." Theodore, whatever. I mean, there is something to when you're playing on home ice, you kind of know how the puck bounces off your boards. But I still don't believe that was the goal. Like, that's not what he was trying to do.
You don't think that Shea Theodore has spent the last several years honing his skills and bouncing it off the boards behind the net on that side, or behind the net on that side?
You could sell me and him being like, no, like I was trying to bounce it off. I'm used to this rank, the boards. I was trying to bounce it off to give someone, like one of our other guys, hopefully a chance up front. But I don't think he was like out there with the protractor and was like, all right, perfect angle off the bow. It's right into the goalie's ass.
Do you think?
And into the net.
Do you think Tage planned to bounce it off the Zamboni doors when they were playing Montreal?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so.
Okay, yeah.
Actually, go ahead. Keep talking.
If we had to rank the relative IQ of the outrageous goal scorers in this playoff, like the most insane, how did that go in goals of this playoff, would Tage Thompson be the one you expected to be the least likely to have done geometry to figure out where the puck was going to go?
Yeah, probably. Sorry, I was double checking the actual footage of the goal to remind myself that, yeah, indeed, it went. Theodore's shot goes off the. It goes back there. I don't remember which defenseman is it. Actually hits the puck and knocks it up towards Bussy, who it then goes off the back of him. So it was a triple.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like you know how in bumper pool, the more bumpers you hit, the more points you get?
Yeah. Sorry, it's just funny to watch again. Because the puck comes off the boards. Oh, maybe he doesn't touch it. It's tough to tell. Point being, it was a crazy bounce. Math, protractors, how do they work? Bumper pool, back to you.
Should you get more points if you get, like, off the wall, off a defenseman, and in?
You should get 2 goals. Or 1.35 goals. Should be a multiplier.
Yeah, and, like, they don't count unless you get 3 of them in a game or something. So, like, once out of every 600 games,
right? And then,
we would
like,
actually get it.
If you get enough goals, then you get a free puck. You get a bonus puck after you lose your last puck. The pinball joke, everybody.
He's pinball wizard, folks. I'm trying to watch this game winner because I want to see if it goes off the defenseman's stick.
The defenseman swipes at it as it comes off of the boards. But
I want to thank everyone for tuning into the podcast where Mike and I watch clips on YouTube.
you can cut all of it.
Okay, let's see here. Okay, I'm full screened. Ooh. Is that Slavin? Might be Slavin. Slavin might own goal that.
74, yeah, I think so.
I don't know, man. It's close. It's close on if that's an own goal or not. It's hard to tell.
He swiped at it as it came off the boards, like he was going to try to get it.
Did you just get off a bender? Did you eat like
why?
an entire jar of peanut butter before this podcast?
I don't. My mouth is dry.
Great. Now all the ASMR fans are going to tune in for our podcast. But Mike, with all that discussed,
Yeah.
whose game is this? Mitch Marner's? Freddie Anderson's? We already gave Torts. We already have one bad game. We have the Torts game, which is a negative. We have the Torts bad challenge game. Oh, by the way, real quick, I just flipped back over to my notes page. Can we talk about Mitch Marner a little bit more? You know that penalty shot he totally fucked up, like didn't even kind of almost score? Did you hear his quote afterwards?
Mm-hmm.
He said he didn't know they switched goalies, and that's why the penalty shot was so bad. Mike, the goalies are opposite-handedness.
Well, that's what threw him off.
Wouldn't you have noticed when you're lining up for the penalty shot?
Yeah.
That the fucking glove's on the wrong side?
He got closer to him. He was like, wait a minute, something fishy's going on over here.
I think Bussy's a lefty, and Freddie Anderson's a traditional right-handed goalie. But
yeah.
he had a quote where they were like, yeah, that penalty shot didn't really go your way. What happened there? And he's like, oh yeah, I didn't realize that they had switched to goalies. This was after like an entire period of the hockey world blowing Mitch Marner for being like the high IQ player that Vegas loves to bring in. Yeah, here's the thing, Al. This guy here, this Mitch Marner, he just gets the game, Al. He's like a regular Mark Stone, but athletic and handsome. And this guy just gets how to play hockey. He knows how to score a hat trick by banking pucks off of players on their own team.
You're trying to say he's not smart? You call him dumb?
I'm trying to say it's pretty bad timing. He's not Tage Thompson dumb, but it's pretty bad timing that after everyone called him so smart, he went out there and went, I didn't realize they switched goalies. Didn't know it was a different guy with a different number with the glove on the wrong side.
He was too in the zone. All right.
All he saw was gaps, not gloves. Anyways, Mike, the 3.5 pitches I have, I should say. The Mitch Marner game, the double OT game. Now, the problem with that is if we get another one, then we've named it the double OT game too early. Alternate, the lucky game winner game, or the Freddie Anderson's final game in the NHL game.
I guess it just depends if you want to be negative or positive in your naming of the game. You could also call
Mike,
it.
I'm the one out here pitching. And I got my ear to the grindstone waiting for you to pitch something.
This game to me kind of had like an Infinity War kind of vibe. If I'm being honest with you.
Who is Thanos?
Well, obviously, I'm guessing Shea Theodore's Thanos.
So what does that make?
Because
Mitch
they're all like getting their ass kicked, right? And then Thor comes in. Except it wasn't Thor in this case; it was Brandon Bussey. Brandon Bussey came in, and they're like, "Now we're gonna win. We're making the comeback. We're gonna save the day." And then at the last second, Theodore snapped his fingers and bounced the puck off of Bussey's ass and erased half of existence, I guess.
So is Marner Zoe Saldana? Is Marner
I don't
that
know.
weird fish guy who like goes to Earth?
It just had a vibe of a movie where like you're like, oh, here comes the good guys. They're gonna win. At the last second, they still lose.
Which one is all of Hawkeye's kids? Which one's that? Oh, I guess that'd be Freddie Anderson. No, because that's the wrong team. He disappears.
Freddie Anderson's too old to have children.
What about Loki? Who's Loki? Who died right away in this game? Was this the game with two allowed? Was this the game with two disallowed Vegas goals, or was that game 2?
I think it was this game.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was this
How
one.
wild is that? They had 2
we'll
disallowed goals and scored 5. They could have won 7-0, Mike.
They could have. But they didn't.
If Carter Hart was any good. Hey, Carter Hart sucks shit now. Which is like, it's good for the people, right? But he's so bad.
Yeah.
He's so bad.
I was going to mention that once we got caught up and got to last night's game. But yeah, Carter Hart, they have a serious problem. But so for this game, though, I'll throw out my dumb superhero metaphor that wasn't working, and I'll go with the Marner game. I'll be a nicer person and call it the Marner game.
The Mitch Marner game. And just like any
Even
good
though
American,
that's not
he
the
did
story of the
all
game.
of his work in the second period and went away. Yeah, that's not the story of the game. The story of the game is Freddie Anderson, man.
Yeah. Or it's like the failed
Do
comeback.
we have to go Freddie Anderson's final game?
The fumbback.
What are we going with? Final name?
The death of Anderson.
The death of Anderson. The
Freddie
death of
got
Anderson game. Freddie doesn't know. Do you think we see Anderson again?
He wasn't. Is he hurt or something? Because he wasn't on the bench last night.
They said they healthy scratched him for game 4 because the goalie coach said he needed a day off. That's what Rod Brindamore told us.
Okay, gotcha. I trust him. He looks like a trustworthy guy.
Because of all his muscles?
No, he just doesn't look very like he would if he went to Hollywood. He would specifically get cast in villain-esque roles. Not like the head villain, but like one of the underlings.
Yeah, you think he'd be he'd be like the secondary boss in Equalizer 4.
Yeah, he'd be like one of like the big bad bosses, like right or left hand man. Like, hey boss, you hear what happened down there by the pier? It's me, Rod Brindamore.
So
something like that.
So if Brandon Bussey was Thor, what does that make Rod Brindamore? Is he like?
That's a good question. I want to say Iron Man.
Because he has all the muscles. Shouldn't he be like Hulk? Because he's the biggest? We need one really good fight in this series, you know? We need like a real blood feud. Like we need like Brandon McNabb.
We need it.
We need Brandon McNabb to rip off the mask and start hitting people with it like he's Myles Garrett.
There you go.
Mike, game 4. Game 4. The only multi-goal win game of the series so far.
They
Carolina
do
wins
exist. That is
5-3,
possible.
including an empty netter to end it after Jordan Stahl had probably the goal of the series so far, laying on his belly and tipping that towards the net. The Blake Stank and Hall line were in full form, and then basically it was just Jordan Stahl outside of that. Jordan Stahl making a late push for the Conn Smythe.
Yeah.
Mike, what do you remember from this game? What does this game mean to you? And what superhero movie would you like to compare it to that I can then ask questions about for the next 8-9 minutes?
I regret that I brought that up. For me, this game signaled the end for Vegas. I think the series is over. And that sounds crazy. That sounds batshit wild, considering it's now still only tied 2-2. This series is done. The series, I think it's done. The only thing that can stop Carolina is the same thing that stopped Carolina for years and years now, is that they have an amazing habit to just sit on their own balls. They do it multiple times throughout games. They do these things. You're like, what is it? Like Mark Stone once again last night, like a bad line change. He just like slips right past every person in a red jersey and is alone on a breakaway. Like, how do we let this happen multiple times in the same series, let alone?
I think it's particularly funny when Mark Stone does it, because it's like getting beat by the guy with the limp in a race. Like, Mark Stone's not fast. Mark Stone can't outskate half the league. But somehow it just ends up behind the entire defense, one-on-one with the goaltender. I think he does it twice in this game. He just doesn't net one of them. One of them gets stopped, the other one gets through. But he gets behind the defense twice in this game. This was also a big game for depth on the Vegas Golden Knights, which was something they weren't getting enough out of. I know Wild Bill Karlsson had some good moments early on, but finally started lighting it up a little bit in this game. But to me, what I'll remember this for is obviously the Jordan Stahl goal. Jordan Stahl had the goal of the series, brother. The goal of the series.
That's like another thing. Like, Vegas doesn't look good anymore.
You see, that's the problem, Lucky.
And
not
it's
any good.
It's not like they just swept swept an extremely good hockey team to get here, and they look a little more out of sorts now and not as well put together. And the most damning thing is, like, when Carolina keeps their shit together, they look really good still. Yes, like, Bussy is not the answer. So they have to be like 100% on their game, because they really can't afford not to be, because they don't have a goalie who can save them. But on the flip side, like with Vegas, they're like, well, Aiden Hill, it turns out that he didn't get to the playoffs and automatically decide to like play hockey good again. So it's basically Carter Hart plays good or we're going home, boys. Nothing we can do. Well, your option of Carter Hart, where you were at the beginning of the playoffs, you were like, well, either he plays good or we're done. Now he's playing terrible again, and you have no more options. You're done.
Yeah, in this game, allows 4 goals on 27 shots, 850 save percentage. Honestly, pretty good for how he's been in the series. He's been like an 820 goaltender in the series. Yeah.
You see, like, just not covering up pucks, not blocking shit down in front of the net. Like, that Jordan Stahl goal was just like a Bad News Bears level of the pucks flipping and flopping all over the place. And, you know, Stahl has a great picture for some sports broadcast or some sports journalists to take and on the front page in the morning.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be like the goal they show in the pre-cup final package for the next 11 years.
Move over, Bobby Orr. There's someone else who fell to the ground and scored a goal.
Yeah, what's Bobby Orr done lately, you know?
Right?
That's what I want to know. I don't know how it could be anything besides the Jordan Stahl game. I definitely don't want to name anything the Carter Hart game. That seems like a well we don't want to travel down.
Yeah.
I would accept the Mark Stone game if they had won. And we could retroactively call it the beginning of the end if the Canes just win the next 2 and shut it out in 6. But for now, we definitely can't call it the beginning of the end, because if Vegas steals one of these games, pushes the series to...
It's over. Oh, it's done. This game's ending in Vegas in Game 6. I'm calling it right now.
Well, that'll be on the 14th, which will be, in fact, Mike, several days before our next podcast. So hopefully, they can hold out so that we can do a whole podcast that I can edit, and then we can do a post Game 7 reaction that I can tag onto the end of it, and then we get that sweet SEO. And you know what SEO stands for, Mike?
Sexy equations on my body. I don't know. What does it stand for?
I don't want to break that down, but I feel like we have to break it down.
Search engine optimization. That's it. Okay.
I was going to say it stands for us making boodles of cash, but...
Oh, yeah.
Now, are the equations sexy, or is your body sexy when it has the equations on it?
It's all sexy.
It started raining so hard. I think that the gods have spoken, and they're sad about the Golden Knights' downfall, as according to Mike.
It's over.
Mike, what's been the best game of the series so far? If you had to rewatch one game, I should say, what game would it be? Also, this game broke the trend. We should have had a triple overtime game. We went regulation, overtime, double overtime. This game should have been triple overtime.
Yeah, it probably would have been one of the first two. Like Game 3, you would rewatch in an abridged form.
You mean you'd skip the first period and the first overtime?
Okay, so the first period, first overtime. Like, you're better off just kind of watching, like, the highlights. I don't know if I really want to watch that whole game.
I think Game 1 was probably the most 50-50 game.
Mm-hmm.
Even then, I still thought Carolina should have won it, and Vegas kind of stole it, which I guess does kind of make it a 50-50 game. I think Game 3 is the only one that I was like, yeah, Vegas should have won that one.
Last night felt like the first game where, obviously it was the first, game that had an empty netter and one team just like emphatically won it that way. But it felt like the first game where it was very like, yeah, Carolina came out, were playing better, and won the game. Cut and dry.
Mike, when Carolina wins this, as according to you, what will be your favorite player from Carolina? As someone who has been outspokenly against Carolina, who will be your like? Oh, at least this guy got the cup. You hate Taylor Hall, so it can't be the Hall Blake Stankoven line.
Yeah, I know. I literally hate them all.
None of them had to do with that Sabres game, right? None of them, except Brendamore.
One of them did. One of them did. I'll be happy for Bussy, all right?
You just like saying his name. That's the only reason you're going to be happy for him. Mike, Game 5. Tomorrow night, 6/11, never forget. It is in Carolina. They return to the Garden in Charlotte. I know we went over this, but what's their arena name? The Lenovo Center in Raleigh.
Oh, yeah, Lenovo Center, that's
right. I'll tell you this. ESPN has a video clip that says why Stephen A. loves all the offense in the Stanley Cup Final. Mike, why do you think Stephen A. loves all the offense in the Stanley Cup Final?
I think I think anything that's just like a lot of like moving objects and flashing colors, Stephen A. likes.
We should get that guy into some Tomodachi. I think he'd have a good time keeping that thing alive. I'm pulling up the odds now on it. Mike, do you wanna play a little guess the lines?
It's right in the Vegas zone.
What's the Vegas zone for?
I don't know.
For hockey. Chili's.
I'm gonna be right in there.
Chili's. Why did I say Chili's?
Sushi. This is a
Mike,
triple dipper.
You wanna? I'm sure you can guess who's favored in this game, but who do you think's favored?
Almost like Carolina is favored.
Yeah. Carolina's favored. 1.5 puck line, as always with these things.
Yeah, let me guess the odds.
You want to try to guess? Yeah, you want to guess the odds money line for a Carolina win.
Carolina minus 178.
Okay. Oh, I thought you were going with the puck line, and I was like, okay, we just went over that. Nope. Minus 178. What do you believe that would make Vegas's odds?
Ooh. I'd probably make Vegas's odds around like plus 200 though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, probably. You gonna go with that still? 178 to plus 200?
I'll change this to like I'll say Carolina more around like minus 150, and up at Vegas more around like a plus 180.
All right. Mike, according to Kalshi, the United States has a plus 6,000 to evade Saudi Arabia today. What do you think about that? No, I'm just kidding. According to DraftKings Sportsbooks, the king of sportsbooks, minus 155 Carolina.
Oh, there we go.
However, your gambling math is bad. It's plus 130 Vegas.
Okay. It's wrong.
My cat is currently licking my hand. I don't know why, but now my hand's wet. Mike, give me your final prediction and your other prediction for Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final.
I just want to say that I hope I'm wrong. Like earlier when I said the series is over, Carolina is going to win it in 6. I hope I'm wrong, but I have to be honest, or else I'd lose all my journalistic integrity. So I'm going to predict that this is where Carolina somehow manages to take over and clamp down on things. Carolina is going to win this next game 3-1. And my other specific prediction is for the first time since, I don't know, since like Biden was in office, Marner does not have a playoff point in this game. He does not have a point in this game.
I'm going to take Carolina 5-4 in overtime. My other prediction is that Brandon Bussey leaves the game early with an injury, and Freddie Anderson returns to the net.
No, I thought you were really hoping you were going to say like, Peter Kochetkov. Steps in.
I think
has a shutout.
I think Peter Kochetkov might be on the Artemis 3 mission to the moon. I haven't checked on him in a while.
He was on the bench last night. People just didn't know it was him.
I guess he'd have to because Freddie Anderson was healthy scratch. Unless Brendan Moore was going to put the pads on. Which I wouldn't, completely say is impossible. Mike, we have one other bit we have to do here. The Conn Smythe Watch. That is us getting our little peepers out, trying to figure out who's going to win the Conn Smythe. Mm-hmm. Giving our top 3 ballot. Mike, I always let you go first. So for this week and this week only, I shall allow you to go first on your Conn Smythe ballot.
All right. Well, number 1, and if his team wins, I don't see any way he doesn't win it, is the aforementioned Submariner, Mitch Marner. Terrible nickname. We're workshopping it right now.
Submariner.
The Mitch Marner sandwich, like a submarine. Never mind. Number 2, I can tell you it's not. It's sure as hell ain't Jack Eichel, because I don't even know if he's played. Has he played? He did see have an assist last night, so technically he must have been on the ice.
Yeah,
but
I watched him at one point. I watched him turn over the puck as he was trying to get past the blue line. He just kind of kept skated forward, and the puck didn't go with him.
Yeah, so I don't know if someone if he just found out that his online girlfriend, who he thought died of cancer, isn't real, but he's playing like it. Shout out to my Notre Dame fans out there.
Yeah. Do people even remember that story anymore? Does that still hit?
So number 2, I'm gonna put. I'm gonna hang around here with old Howdy Doody, Brad. If Vegas does somehow win, he's gonna somehow steal it from where it's possible. I'm just saying. 14 goals.
You gotta stop.
Leading the playoffs.
You gotta stop.
Howdy Doody.
Handing out.
How do you like them
nicknames?
Apples?
You gotta stop with the nicknames.
How didn't you like them apples? And number 3, it would be an unreal robbery. It would be recency bias when you compare it to everything else that's gone on. But still, 5 goals in 5 games. Oh, sorry, 6 goals now in 5 games. I can't math. 5 goals in 4 games. Thank you. I got there. The old man Stahl, the captain. Put him on your ballots now.
Yeah, get in before the getting gets hot. Mike, I'm maybe with you on the Mitchell Marner of this all, if that is his real name. I heard tell that this guy's the reason that Toronto kept losing in the playoffs. And I think that there's a chance that he pulls a McDavid and wins the Conn Smythe, even if Carolina takes home the top prize in all professional hockey, the Art Ross Trophy. Number 2, I'm going Jordan Stahl. Obviously, we cannot project forward with these rankings. That is part of it. But I think if Carolina wins and they don't just split votes down ballot and let Marner walk away with it, there's no way that you're not going to give it to Stahl. He's the captain. He's got all the goals in the Stanley Cup final.
Mhm.
He now has the seminal goal of the Carolina Hurricanes Stanley Cup run with his Bobby Orr-ass goal. Number 3, Mike. I'm sticking with it. You can't push me off my spot. You keep trying. He's still putting up points. Putting the stank in there, Logan Stankoven. I will not be deterred from my love of that stanky Oven.
Ooh.
See, neither one of us should be going for the nicknames. We're just not good at it.
Stank's going. Stank.
Stink's a good one.
Stink. You stink. So I was double checking.
This is where you'd find out because it's the NHL that they call him Logie and not Stank.
Oh, definitely. I probably would.
Yeah.
So I was curious about this since old man Stahl is like 37. Jordan, to be exact, of which Stahl, not Eric or Mark. The oldest player to win the Conn Smythe, this motherfucker. You should actually know this, Adam. You should know who the oldest player is to win the Conn Smythe, right? I mean, he's
oldest
a Bruin.
player to
He's played
win
for the Bruins.
Oldest player to win the Conn Smythe
Yeah.
is hold on, I do know this. Brad Marchand.
What?
He won it for a different
No.
team.
No, it's a Boston Bruin, 2011. Wouldn't go to the White House.
Oh, wouldn't go to the White House in 2011? I didn't know Donald Trump played for the Bruins.
He's an American.
Who was it?
Tim Thomas, the goaltender. That man was like that year was like God mode. It was pretty wild to see.
So would Jordan Stahl be older than him?
Let's see. Timmy Thomas is 37 years and 61 days. That's how old he was.
Jordan Stahl is 37.
No. Shit. Sherlock. That part we knew. It was the days that.
Oh, did we? Oh, got it. September 10th. So he's more than 6 months into his 37th year.
So he'd be older.
Yeah, he'd be the oldest Conn Smythe winner ever.
Yes, because Thomas, Tim Thomas, not Thomas Jefferson. To get anybody get mixed up, he was born in April '74. So we could be witnessing history here. Wait, no, that would make him. I give up. I'm done.
Yeah, it'd make him older because Jordan Stahl was born in September and he's 37, which means that he is in his when he will turn 38th year.
That's it. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, math is so hard, guys, today.
Yeah, you with all your sexy equations.
Yeah, on my body.
Getting creamy with it. Mike, we got
Terrible
some news
podcast.
to check off. News now that we've gotten through the boring stuff. The Stanley Cup, if that is its real name. And we got some news to talk about. Tim Thomas isn't even a real person. The only players
Right,
I
how
respect...
do you like them apples?
The only players I respect, school Barack Obama at hockey. They show up, and they show him what it means to try to shoot on an NHL goalie. Coward. Mike, speaking of cowards, the captain, Dylan Larkin, has demanded a trade. He has said, I want out of here. I want out of here no matter what. You send me anywhere. And by anywhere and no matter what, I mean 3 teams. Minnesota, Vegas, or Florida. Those are the 3 teams Dylan Larkin has said that he will exit the Yzer plan to enter. Let me ask you this, Mike. Does Dylan Larkin actually want to leave Detroit? Because it sounds like his 4th favorite team in the NHL.
Yeah, it's like how bad do you want to leave if those are the teams that you're trying to go to? My only
Does he
thought
think that they're going to get like half the fucking roster of the Florida Panthers for him? Like, what deal exists with those 3 teams? Does he think Minnesota's like, yeah, we want Dylan Larkin. We'll flip you Quinn Hughes or Brock Faber?
Do you want me to?
It's Dylan Larkin. On a competitive team, he's the 3rd-line center.
Yeah,
The guy has his career high. His career high in a season is 74 points. 74 points. The guy has never had a heart vote. You don't. He just signed a 5-year deal. You don't have the leverage for this.
Your numbers.
You don't have the leverage for this.
He does have leverage.
What? He has a 5-year deal, and he gave him 3 teams. If I'm Yzerman, I go, all right, we'll see you at camp.
True.
We're stripping you of the C. You don't got anything you can do. You have a 5-year plan. Or 5-year plan. I got Yzer planned.
Right.
You got a 5-year deal. You ain't going nowhere.
But are they going to let him just sit there and keep paying him?
Sure. He can either sit on the sidelines and do nothing, or he can come play hockey. He's definitely not wearing the C next year.
He's definitely going to keep getting paid.
But he's not going to sit at home. We both know this. We've seen this over and over again. No one's just going to sit at home. They'll fine his ass if they tell him to report and he doesn't report. Come on. He has 5 years left on his deal. He has 5 years left on his deal. And he gave them 3 teams, none of which can field a competitive offer for Dylan Larkin.
Well, according to Elliot Friedman, I believe he said that it's believed Minnesota and Florida have already been in talks and given them offers.
Yeah, I would give him an offer too. If Dylan Larkin said, I want to go to Florida, I'd be like, all right, we will send you Brad Marchand's corpse and a first-round pick.
Do you know what's something that all of those 3 teams have in common with each other?
What?
They all feature star players that Larkin just won a gold medal with.
Yep. That, I think that if I was Yzerman, I would be very pissed at Team USA because that very much seems to be the case there. It also appears that... So, some other thoughts I have on this, right? Like, it appears that he really just wants to go to Minnesota, right? But you couldn't just say, like, I'm only leaving, and here's my one team. Like, Minnesota has the actual, like, coaching infrastructure from Team USA. They have multiple players from Team USA. And there's no fucking chance Vegas or Florida can field a competitive offer to get him.
Yeah, I think Minnesota probably is most likely would be able to do it of the 3. Then again, never count out Vegas, them crafty motherfuckers.
But come on, it's Dylan Larkin. How much is Vegas going to give up for fucking Dylan Larkin?
I think like a team like a Vegas, any 3 of those teams. I mean, Minnesota would be like the perfect fit. That would be such like a your needs meet my Minnesota needs a Larkin so bad, so that'd be great for them. But Vegas would still love to have a Larkin. Like if you can have a dude that caliber, it'd be like your 3rd center, hypothetically.
Right.
He'd be there. Right. He'd be their 2 or their 3 there. Like I agree. I think you're being a little mean to Dylan Larkin, the caliber of player. I think you're being a little negative.
I think they'd be happy to have him, but would you put him over Tomas Hertl? Yeah. If you're Vegas? No. Come on.
I would take Larkin on my team over Hertl.
I know about that, brother. Tomas Hertl has 13 points in the playoffs. How many does Dylan Larkin have in the playoffs?
Your arms hurt from like moving the goalpost that much, or what?
That's definitely not moving the goalpost. But like, I don't think that Dylan Larkin is some like massive like Vegas has to target this guy trade target that they normally go for. I
agree that.
And beyond that, what would Vegas send out the door, man?
Right.
What haven't they already paid out to get Rasmus Andersson and Noah Hannafin and Tomas Hertl and Ivan Barbashev and Mitch Marner?
Right. And I agree with that part. I was just saying, if you said, like, would Vegas want Larkin? Yeah. Would I take Larkin over Hertl? Yeah. But I also agree that Vegas isn't in a situation where they're like, we have to have him. This move must happen. So there's not really like a lot of leverage there. So I agree with you.
Same thing for Florida.
Probably the same thing with Florida. Minnesota is the one who'd be coming in with the most like, no, this fills a big hole. We should really try to get this done.
Yeah, I think Florida or Vegas, they're trading for either a second or third line center, and not like a tier 1 second or third line center, right? Like a tier 2 second or third line center.
Yeah.
And Minnesota would be trading for a first line center, which at that point you're just doing Detroit again, right? Like the problem with Detroit was that Dylan Larkin wasn't good enough to be a cup-winning first-line center. And now you'd be trading for him to try to make your team win a cup with him as your first-line center.
I think Larkin could be a 1C, but it depends on how the rest of that team is structured.
Yeah, like Dylan Larkin could be a 1C if Gretzky was the 2C, sure.
No, that's not what I meant, you asshole. But I don't know. Like in the immediate aftermath, one thing, this is just fun because I don't feel like it's too often we hear hockey players like themselves say, "I am requesting a trade."
Yeah.
It usually is. It's usually if they do it, like they never publicly say it. It just gets like through the grapevine and whatever, and we eventually hear about it. But it's not like a public thing. So that was pretty fun that this has happened that way. I think he'd be very sought after. I almost feel like I feel like if I'm the Red Wings, I'm saying, hey, can you at least lie and say that your list of teams is bigger? Because it would really help us get more for you.
Yeah, why not, like if you want out of here so bad, why not at least submit 6 teams?
Right.
That's all I want to know. You know?
Or 16. Just all the playoff teams this year.
Yeah. Guess what? Guess what all the playoff teams have in common that Detroit doesn't?
They're in the playoffs.
They were in the playoffs!
So
Larkin
Larkin there with the longest playoff drought in the league now, right?
I think so. Must be. So Larkin signed basically an 8x8, 8x8.7 in 2023 after a long contract negotiation that apparently was none too great behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Then, a couple years ago, there's the quote where at the end of the season they're talking to Larkin, and he said that they expected to get a boost out of the trade deadline, and that boost didn't happen. And then Yzerman comes out in the media and says that boost should come from the star players playing better. So, obviously, there was some kind of tension there. Do you think that this has just been fucked for like 2 years, and they've been holding it together with bubblegum and duct tape long enough to get to this point for Dylan Larkin to go, I want out. I want to go play with Team USA. And when he realized that couldn't be on his no trade exception, he had to just settle for the teams that made up Team USA. Do you think?
I feel like.
Do you think like a team like where he'd really fit in, like Montreal, would have been on the list if they had let any of the players from Montreal play for Team USA?
I think like Larkin he's stood around, he's hung around for this rebuild, and I think it hasn't been pretty. But I have no inside information. I imagine that both sides wanted to make it work, and I imagine Larkin, in a perfect world, would have liked the team to get good while he was still there. He's from Michigan. He went to the University of Michigan. Like, it's probably pretty cool.
Wolverine.
Do it all in what?
Huh? It's like Aiden Hutchinson. You know?
Yeah. Is Hutchinson from Michigan? I know he went to UM.
He went to Michigan. Yeah. Connor Stallions.
No, Aiden Hutchinson didn't go to UM.
Where'd he go? Aiden Hutchinson grew up in Plymouth, Michigan. He went to Divine Child High School and then went to University of Michigan.
Did he really? I don't know why I wasn't thinking he. I don't know.
You're probably thinking of Kenny Pickett.
That's I usually get those two men mixed up. They're so similar. I don't remember what we were talking about. But yeah, I think the situation is just it has been fucked. That's my point. I think they wanted to make it work. I think Larkin hoped he could have. I think Larkin probably wished he could have hung around until this rebuild finally finished. And it technically, like, according to the Yzer plan, should have been done 3 years ago, and it still isn't. So
hey, do you care about this? Do you care about this episode tanking our SEO for 1 week?
Why are you bringing it up?
Because I would love to name this this episode. The plan has been fucked. I think that'd be a pretty good name, if you ask me.
Yeah, if anything,
we both agree. I think we both agree that Dylan Larkin is mid to bad, and it's all his fault that things didn't work out in Detroit. Mike, moving on to coaching news. Moving on to coaching news. I hope that Buffalo trades for him. I hope they trade Constance Elenius for him.
That would never happen. But like I said,
yeah,
I'll do
because
it.
According to you, Dylan Larkin, God mode Larkin, top tier Larkin, will garner more than Constance Elenius in return.
I will do a tuck, sign and trade. And I will throw in Yuri Kulik, so you get another center back. All right, that's it. Take it or leave it. All right, pal. It's me. I'm Captain.
All right, Steven Yzerman. If you want to trade away your captain, we'll send you a guy who we didn't have signed to the team and our fourth-line center.
We'll give you a guy.
You have 4 hours.
Second round of the playoffs. As Larkin. Sorry to be that.
I just like the idea that Yzerman calls up Alex Tuck's agent and goes, "Hey, we want to sign Alex Tuck," and then on the other end is just Jarmo Kekalainen being like, "We want to trade you, Alex Tuck."
You go, okay, all right, now we're talking. What do you
Interesting.
want?
Hold on, I gotta hang up on the phone. I was about to sign Alex Tuck without giving anything up, but I'll hear you out, Yarmo. Mike, coaching news. Hit us with the coaching news song.
Coaches.
Mike, most significantly, Peter Laviolette officially inked to be the head coach of the LA Kings. Mike, does this mean the LA Kings are now going to win a Stanley Cup?
No, they're not.
This is Peter Laviolette's 11th NHL team he's coached for?
I mean, I hate Peter Laviolette. I think he's a bad person.
The last name's really hard to spell.
No.
Flick back here.
Please come back. Won a Stanley Cup. I won't say with who. Or what year. I won't bring it up.
He's been out of the league just one season after getting fired from the Rangers.
Yeah.
Brought them a President's Trophy, and then the next season they were fucking terrible. So there's that. I don't know. Laviolette's he's like the middle of the road coach. People are really losing their shit over this in one direction or another. They're like, he's a Blackhawk. I had up his Predators tenure when they lost to the Blackhawks. He's a Stanley Cup caliber head coach. He's won a President's Trophy, and I'm like, shit, man. Kind of seems like he has good seasons and bad seasons. He's like the goaltender of coaches. Like, I can't tell you when Peter Laviolette's going to have a good season, but it sure seems fucking random to me.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good... I think he is a good head coach. It doesn't move the needle for me. Like, yeah, he won a Stanley Cup 20 years ago now. He's had success with other teams taking him to playoffs. He made it back to the finals a couple more times, but the Caps run wasn't super inspiring in those last 3 years. Those last couple seasons of his career with not his career, but most recent NHL stint with the Rangers weren't too inspiring. So it's the boys
88
club
and 82
thing.
in the playoffs. He's coached a lot of hockey. Like, if you want to say that, sure.
And he does
like,
have a
he's
ring.
been
Let's
there
give him credit
a
for
lot.
that. He did make it to the mountaintop. Piece of shit.
Slick back hair.
Yeah.
I mean, and he's lost a couple, or he's lost one. He's been in 2 cup finals. He's lost one, I think. No, sorry, he's been in 3 cup finals and lost 2. So credit where credit's due. He's coached a lot of hockey. He's coached a lot of high quality hockey. This doesn't do anything to this Kings roster, where your best player is Artemi Panarin.
Yeah, it's still...
And we're in year 17 of being like, Quentin Byfield any year now. Really going to break out.
Yeah,
this team
worries me for
should
the Kings.
sign some, like, the best coach from the ECHL, tear it down to the fucking studs, and build back up from the ground.
I bet dollars to donuts this Kings team is going to make at least one terrible free agent signing. Like, a massive overpay.
Is if you had to place a significant amount of money right now, is this the Alex Tuck team?
This is the one team that says, Tuck, we'll give you $12 million a year. Like,
Alex, we heard you were looking for 11.5 on the open market. Yeah. Let's see. Who else could be? Line A? They could give Line A too much money, right?
I feel like the rest of the world's come around that line. It's not that good. Not bad, but it's not what he once was.
Trouba? I mean, the last time Laviolette had success was on that Rangers team.
Am I wrong, or is Trouba 100 years old? Or is he just played
He's
long
32.
enough to where now... okay, he feels older than that for some reason. I don't know why.
Anyways, Mike, the other coaching news that we have to get to here. Currently the front runner and expected potential, possible future head coach for the end of the McDavid era, the time when this team needs the most stability. They need a locker room leader, a guy who can bring them great success. Currently the front runner for that position in Edmonton is Michael James Babcock.
Was that... we always make. I mentioned it just a minute ago. We always talk about like hockey coaching as being like a boys' club, and it's just like this is the member of the boys' club that the other boys constantly have to laugh and be like, "Ha, he doesn't, it's times are different. He doesn't know how that comes across." Kind of just egregiously, but like, come on, we're doing this game. When Mike Babcock got hired to Columbus, which I'm sure you're about to mention, I feel like we were all like, really? And that lasted for like what? Like a cup of coffee in sports terms?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
By cup of coffee, you mean he coached 0 games, right?
Yeah, he didn't make it through the offseason.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't remember, Mike Babcock, a couple seasons ago, gets hired to be the Columbus Blue Jackets' new head coach under freshly minted free agent Johnny Gaudreau. He comes in, and there is a report that comes out that he was having different players, and at the time, GM, Jarmo Kekalainen, display photos from their phone on a screen in the locker room, which is odd. It's weird. It's not normal. A lot of the more veteran players seem to be okay with it. A lot of the younger players seemed uncomfortable with it. They filed a grievance with the NHL PA. But really the big thing here, Mike, the big thing was Spitting Chicklets fucking shredded Babcock for this. They shredded Babcock for this. They shredded Babcock for... Yeah, at the time. I went back and listened to the segment. Spitting Chicklets devoured Mike Babcock alive. They talked about how he was a locker room cancer. He was bad for the league. He could only win things when people were more successful around him. And, for instance, Steve Yzerman and Sidney Crosby. And that, for those of you who don't know the tone of Spittin' Chicklets, they're pretty kind to the league as former players with a lot of connections in the league. They don't tend to go that hard in on anyone. And they folded Mike Babcock into a piece of toast and then put him in the toaster. Mike Babcock was then unceremoniously released after some negotiations about his settlement. He announced it as a resignation. My doubts are that Mike Babcock woke up one day and went, you know what? I just want to play golf. I'm going to leave this whole hockey thing behind. But that is the end of the story so far. But it's not the beginning, because Mike Babcock, who had a lot of success in Detroit, and he was also a coach in Toronto, at both stops near the end of his tenure, had significant reports about a toxic work environment. Now, you might be saying, it's sports. It's a boys' club. Sometimes you put your finger in another guy's butt, but it's funny. It's funny. But this was like Detroit in like 2006. Like this was when there was 3 hockey reporters on the goddamn planet, and there was still reports of a toxic work environment. Like this was not these snowflakes. They grew up wearing neck garters and face masks and TikToking on their Twitch live streams. This was like fucking Nick Lidstrom being like, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
So not a good locker room guy, and when you have a powder keg of an Edmonton team that got removed from the playoffs very early, Connor McDavid, who is very unhappy with the circumstance, Leon Draisaitl, who is taking a break from counting all of his money to be very unhappy with the circumstance, Darnell Nurse on a contract that they are now talking about asking him to waive his no-move clause to help out the team so that they can trade him. Which, if I was Darnell Nurse, I'd be like, nah, pay me. But a team that is at any second ready to explode, the last thing I would want to do is bring in Mike Toxic Work Environment Babcock and go, all right, get these guys into shape. Let's see if you can get Connor McDavid to stick around for one more contract.
Yeah. That's not like that. I keep thinking it's going to hit rock bottom in Edmonton at some point with the way the organization is run, but apparently not. That has not hit Babcock'em yet. I was trying to make a rock bottom. Babcock came out very bad. But
Babcockium levels.
Like, it was announced that the NHL and NHLPA were launching an investigation into the Columbus situation and if Babcock violated people's privacy. And when I saw that headline, I was like, wait, I thought it was already determined that he did that. That's why he got shit canned in 2 days or whatever. We need an investigation. I like the
NHLPA when that happened. When hey, he's fired, doesn't matter now. And then 3 years later, when someone else goes to hire him, they go, fuck, we were gonna look into that. Okay, someone dust off the case file.
Was Zach Hyman on the Maple Leafs teams for Babcock?
No.
That bullied Nylander or whatever.
No, I think that was. Well, maybe he was. I'd have to double check that.
Yeah, I can't remember if he was on like early Matthews or not. I can't remember if it was before that or not. So
Babcock got them Matthews. He got fired 3 games into the Matthews tenure or something like that. He got fired very early into the Matthews tenure after having a terrible season and getting them Austin Matthews. I think he got brought in initially during the McDavid draft year.
okay.
I remember off the top of my head. I have something else open that I want to talk about in a little bit, so I didn't want to flip off of it to double check that.
First year as the Maple Leafs head coach was 2015, 2016.
Okay.
So Matthews would have been there then, right?
Yeah, that would be Matthews was drafted in 2015, right?
Yeah, he was the year before McDavid.
Austin, I think Austin Matthews is younger than McDavid by a couple years, so I don't think that it was a year before.
Either
Austin Matthews was drafted in 2016. 2016.
Okay, yeah.
2016.
So he was there from the year before Matthews till the 2019-2020 season. Just to put that.
In which the Maple Leafs were not great, you know?
So yeah, that would have been around the time he allegedly. I could have swore the bully allegations, like Nylander's name came up in something he did backstage. That was not backstage. I got my wrestling brain on. Like behind the scenes in the locker room, that was like not cool. Now he kind of called players out. I'll have to re-educate myself on the situation because it's been so long.
Do you think he like goat-sued someone?
I don't think he did. He even has the face of a guy who would say the words like, "I was just joking, just being a guy."
He got fired. He got fired 2 months into the 2019-2020 season. I really wish we could have had Mike Babcock stick around to get his thoughts on COVID. It seems like that would have been a lot of fun. Mike, any more Mike Babcock? Oh, I just had a thought. Mike, who was a star player on Mike Babcock's cup-winning Detroit Red Wings?
Well, was one of them Johan Franzen, who labeled him a terrible man in his own book? Terrible man, the worst person I've ever met, quote unquote. And accused Babcock of verbally abusing him during a game in the first round of the 2012 Stanley Cup playoffs. Was it him? Was it Johan Franzen by any chance?
Not who I was thinking of. I was thinking of Steven Yzerman.
Yeah.
Steven Yzerman.
That's right.
Now,
that was Zetterberg,
Mike.
Franzen, Yzerman. That era, like that Red Wings squad, was fucking ridiculously good. They traded blows with good old Sidney Crosby for some titles.
Let me ask you this, Mike. Let me ask you this. Do you think Mike Babcock to Edmonton is a Yzer plan move?
What you don't realize, Adam, is everything that happens every day in the NHL is all part of the Yzer plan.
Hear me out. Yzer plan, phase 4, the final phase. Force Dylan Larkin to request a trade. After you get him to expand his trade list to include Edmonton, Mike Babcock, freshly hired, bullies McDavid into requesting a trade. And you get the Dylan Larkin for Connor McDavid flip.
Oh. That's next level Yzer plan. That's like 5D chess. What's the fifth dimension? Only
I can't believe he thought of that. Yeah. I can't believe he thought of that. That's crazy. Way to go, Yzerman. Once again.
Oh, no.
What?
Yeah, like I said, I'm
no?
going to read back up on what happened in Toronto, so I'm not just like grasping at things, but I did a quick Google. Marner's name does come up as one of the players that Babcock treated like shit. So
yeah, let's you want to do the Yzer report, not the Yzer report. You want to do the Babcock report on the next podcast?
Yeah.
You want to do like an 8-minute recap of everything? Yeah, there you go. Mike, one more thing. We won't spend a lot of time talking about this, but Michael McCarron signs a 6-year, $20 million deal to stay in Minnesota, once again weakening this free agent class. He is now 31 years old. He'll be there through his age 37 season. Notably, missed the playoffs along with Joel Eriksson Ek with a broken foot. Mike, what is your takeaway from this? Are you elated?
I'm not elated. I mean, it's not. I get why it's a good move. Move makes sense, but I don't know if I'm Minnesota and some of the questions I have, I don't know if I would have tried to prayed I could have got into free agency and still re-signed him. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. And they have a lot of players. They have a lot of older players on the way out the door, so maybe that's just like you're playing with money you're willing to lose at that point. But there's not a lot of people to replace them with, so not too sure about that. Not a lot to say. It's it is simply a maybe slightly over market price signing. But Mike, in the famous words of Mike Regan of the Talent Alone podcast, cap's going up. That deal's gonna look pretty good in a few years.
I mean, you look at the Larkin deal right now. $8 million for a two-way guy like Larkin.
Yeah, and I mean, yes, you're going to have to trade him to Vegas to get back Rasmus Anderson's ghost and a 7th-round pick in 2029. But, the deal's going to look pretty good in a few years.
Pretty good.
Mike, that's all I got. You got any final news or notes? Anything else you want to talk about here? You want to do some more riffing on Mike Babcock? That was a lot of fun. I thought we had a good time with Mike Babcock.
No, it was like when I saw the news of the hiring and the investigation, it was just like like the SpongeBob.
Is it the first time
meme.
anyone's had fun with Mike Babcock?
Probably. It's just like his name came up on the news little push notifications I get about news stories. It was just like the SpongeBob meme. The guy's like, "How many times do you have to teach you this lesson, old man?" It's like what it is. Like, just go away, dude.
All right, Mike. Well, you got any plugs on the way out the door here?
Follow me.
Into the darkness.
Mm-hmm.
Into the quiet darkness. The darkness. Anyways, you can see all of our socials in the show notes below. We stream at Talent Alone Streams. If you like, listen to us talk. Why don't you listen to us talk while I scream about tech issues? But we will be live again very soon. You can come back here on Friday for our other basketball podcast where we're talking NBA Finals. Mike, as we wrap up that, I'll probably have you on there also to talk some Knicks. You can see all of our written work on talentalone.com, where we post a lot more about college football and professional wrestling than we ever have time to talk about on podcasts. And you can email us at talentalonepodcast@gmail.com. Send us an email letting us know what players' names we mispronounced this episode. And with that, Mike, as we don't do shout-outs on the way out the door here, would you care to guess what Mike Babcock's career high in points as a player in the NHL was?
Forward or defenseman? Give me that.
He was a forward, it looks like. A forward.
Career high, single season. I'm going to say 42.
He had 0. Never played a game.
Damn. Those
let me double check that to make sure that's true. Yeah, he moved to the United Kingdom in 1987 as a player coach for the Whitley Warriors. You think he was still a dick then?
Everybody in England's... I was going to say everybody in England are dicks, but that's not true.
Yeah, fuck England. All right, Mike, let's get out of here.